It happened in front of all of us, under the full moon, when his great palace, once the pride of our village, collapsed into dust. The chief stood there, shaking, his hands empty. He tried to speak, but no words came out. That was the night we all learned the truth about his wealth. But let me start from the beginning. Before the riches, Chief Agu was just another leader. Our village, Umujuro, was not rich, but we had enough. We farmed, we fished, we traded. People respected Chief Agu, but they also whispered about him. They said he wanted more, that he was tired of leading a village with muddy roads and small houses. He wanted to be a great man, to have his name sung in far-away lands. One day, strangers came to Umujuro. They arrived at night. 3 men dressed in dark robes, their faces hidden under hoods. They did not enter the village like visitors. They went straight to the chief's hut. Nobody knew what was said inside, but the next morning, everything changed. Suddenly, Chief Agu had wealth beyond imagination. A small mud hut became a great palace, shining with gold. His wives and children dressed in silk, their skin glowing with expensive oils. He threw feasts every night, with food that even the neighboring kings could not afford. Nobody knew where the wealth came from. He stopped trading, stopped farming, stopped dealing with the people. When someone asked, he only smiled and said,
"The gods have blessed me."
But the gods we knew had never given such gifts. At first, we celebrated with him. Who wouldn't? He gave gifts, built new roads, and made Umujuro famous. But soon, strange things began to happen. The village well dried up. The river that gave us fish became dark and empty. Women lost their pregnancies, and children fell sick with no cure. The elders warned Chief Agu that something was wrong, but he laughed.
"You are jealous of my blessings,"
he said. Then his first wife disappeared. She went to the river one morning and never came back. Days later, his eldest son vanished too. Then his second wife, then his youngest daughter. One by one, his family was taken. That's when people remember the 3 men in dark robes. Chief Agu became a madman. He ran through the village, calling the names of his lost family. He begged the gods for help. He cried in the marketplace, but the village had turned against him. "We warned you," the elders said. "You have brought a curse upon us." Then, on the night of the full moon, we heard a loud crack. The great palace of Chief Agu, the house of gold and riches, split in half. The walls crumbled like dry leaves. The roof collapsed, and everything inside turned to dust. Chief Agu stood in the middle of it all, his fine robes torn, his hands empty. The wealth had vanished. He tried to speak, but no words came out. And then, from the shadows, we saw them. They did not touch him. They did not speak. They only looked at him, and Chief Agu, the richest man we had ever known, let out one final scream before he fell to the ground, dead. Nobody touched his body. The elder said his soul had already been taken. We buried him outside the village, far from the people, far from the land he had betrayed. And just like that, everything went back to normal. The river flowed again, the well filled with water, the sickness left. It was as if the village had been waiting for him to be gone. Now, when a man becomes too greedy, we remind him of Chief Agu. Do not trade what you cannot get back, the elders say, or you will end up like the chief who sold his soul for wealth.